This look broke the internet last week. Thousands of creators trying to create this bold, teal and pink look, but they have nowhere to start. So today we're breaking down every single details and the flow using PFA Color Suite. So let's get started. So today we are looking at three kind of shots. Full strip effect essentially is teal and pink color palette. So in PFA Color Suite, once you turn on the scopes, you are able to see very clearly the color distribution. We go down to straight to film mixer. To build that bold look, we have to stretch our vector scope less in the neutral kind of palette. For film mixer, make sure your skin production is turned on and drag the teal and pink. And to further elaborate this, we just need to drag the red tone and shift it towards cyan and vibe into the scene. And that sets a very strong foundation. And next we can use film separation to further elaborate this palette. And at the same time, we can use film printer lights to inject more cyan into the scene and reduce red. All this helps to create that teal in the entire palette. And that's for the first shot. So last but not least, we need to nail the Moody tone comes from this secret. We have to adjust the black points on your exponential curve. So we turn on the skin tonal curve, we raise the black points, and you can see we are pushing all the pure black information into the gray zone. And then we can use the shadow softness to roll off the curve so that we get the milky gray in the shadows. And look at how that is done. We are getting a very creative look out of this. Live playback at 4K. And this is before, and this is after. The teal and pink kind of style right into the mood of the scene. And that's how simple and easy for us to create that look. And now we can move on to the next shot. We can replicate the same thing perfectly into the teal and pink palette. It helps to clear away those unwanted colors we have in the scene. And to inject more cyan, just look at a vector scope. By reducing red, we are remixing all the red calibration to the cyan. So that's how instantly we inject more cyan into the scene. And that's how powerful this toolkit is. There won't be any degradation on the image because we are doing channel math. What we are doing, we are calling out the software, hey, remove all this red color information and transform them all into the cyan zone. And that's basically how this whole entire process is done. And we can further elaborate this with red and cyan separation, or we can reduce it, tone down a little. And we can go down to film printer lights. Now, do I want to inject more warmth to the scene to have that vintage vibe? Or do I want it to have the blue? And basically, this is sufficient enough for us to build any palette we want. And then we can go film tonal curve, raise the black points, and raise the shadow roll off. So we have the milky gray in the shadow that contributes to the moodiness. And then we have this great transformation. This is the before, this is the after, for the entire different kind of mood. So now let's go to the last shot and experiment exactly the same thing. So we can go film mixer, increase the teal and pink color style, and then we're gonna shift some of the red info and swap them into the cyan zone so we get more cyan into the scene. And then we can use film separation to further elaborate this palette to make it more bold. And then we go down to film printer lights to inject the atmosphere. So do I want it to be more cooler? So for this scene, maybe we want to have more cyan introduced in the scene. We increase cyan, and I can reduce yellow to get a fairer skin, or I increase the yellow, reduce the blue to add more warmth to the scene. And that illustrates the same entire transformation as well. Last but not least, go down to film tonal curve, increase the black point, increase the shadow roll off to get a different look. Okay. So black point is not raised enough, so create the milky gray in the shadows. And that is a transformation right there. That's a crazy amount of transformation. I'm still playing back at 30 frames per second, full 4K, okay? So that is the power of all the engine in PFA Color Suite 7.8. It's available on Mac, Windows, DaVinci Resolve, Adobe Premiere, After Effects. 30% off offer is ending tomorrow, so treasure your opportunity. And that's all for this episode. Hope you enjoy it. My name is Nash, Passion, Fuse, and Vision. I shall see you in the next one.